Dr. Velxian's four eyes blinked in sequential disbelief as the results materialized on the holographic display. The Galactic Council's Xenobiology Laboratory had processed thousands of species over the past 3 centuries, cataloging every sentient race's genetic markers, behavioral patterns, and evolutionary history. Never, not once, had the Predator Index produced results like these. "Run it again," Velxian commanded, her chitinous fingers trembling slightly. Her assistant, a young Thraxian named Corb, hesitated. "Doctor, we've already run the human samples 17 times. The results are consistent." "Impossible." Velxian moved closer to the display, her compound eyes scanning the data streams that poured down like luminescent rain. Humans scored 9.8 on the Predator Index. That's higher than Kralaxians, higher than Vorketh hunters, higher even than the extinct Resorcan of Terminus VII. The Predator Index was the Council's most sophisticated analytical tool, measuring everything from binocular vision positioning and dental structure to adrenal response patterns and pursuit instincts. It had been developed after the Harmony Wars, when the Council realized that certain species' predatory nature made them fundamentally incompatible with peaceful coexistence. Species scoring above 7.0 were typically quarantined on their homeworlds until they evolved beyond their violent tendencies. Humans had scored 9.8. Corb pulled up comparison data. The Kralaxians, apex predators from a death world with gravity twice galactic standard, scored 8.4. They have retractable claws, redundant organs, and can track prey across dimensional rifts. "I know what Kralaxians are," Velxian snapped. She had studied them extensively. They were terrifying creatures, all muscle and fang, evolved in an ecosystem where everything was trying to kill everything else. And yet these humans, these soft-skinned bipeds from a temperate world called Earth, had exceeded them. She examined the human genetic markers more closely. The data seemed almost contradictory. Humans lacked natural weapons, no claws, no venom, no armored hide. Their homeworld, while diverse, wasn't classified as a death world. By conventional metrics, they should have been prey animals, not apex predators, but the index didn't lie. "Break down the scoring components," Velxian ordered. Corb manipulated the interface, and subcategories expanded across the display. What Velxian saw made her blood run cold. Persistence hunting protocol, 10.0, 10.0. "What does this mean?" she asked, pointing at the perfect score. Corb accessed the underlying analysis. According to the behavioral studies, humans evolved a unique hunting strategy. They don't chase prey in short bursts like most predators. They follow it. For hours, sometimes days. They track wounded animals across vast distances until the prey literally dies of exhaustion. Velxian felt a chill run down her spine. "That's cruel." "The index classifies it as relentless," Corb corrected. "There's a term from human history, persistence predator. On Earth, humans would wound an animal and simply follow it, walking steadily, never stopping, until the creature collapsed from fatigue and blood loss. Binocular vision and depth. Perception, 9.9 to 10 to endurance. Capacity, 10.0, 10.0 cooperative. Hunting behavior, 9.7, 10.0 tool. Creation and weapon innovation, 10.0, 10.0 the air." Scores continued, each more alarming than the last. Velxian pulled up footage from Earth, observation data collected by the Council's monitoring drones before first contact. She watched humans engage in something they called marathon running, individuals who would run for over 40 kilometers, not fleeing from danger, but for recreation. "They do this for fun," she whispered. More footage showed human history. Ancient hunters tracking mammoths across ice fields. Persistence hunts in African savannas where humans chased antelope for 8 hours straight under a blazing sun. She saw humans in combat, their ability to strategize and adapt mid-battle, their refusal to surrender even when wounded. But what truly disturbed Velxian was the creativity in their violence. Humans didn't just kill, they invented new ways to kill. Spears, arrows, swords, guns, nuclear weapons. They had turned warfare into a science, developed thousands of martial arts, created elaborate strategies for group combat. The index had noted something else. Humans possessed an unusual psychological trait called persistence of motivation. Once they decided on a goal, they pursued it with singular focus. They climbed mountains because they were there. They crossed oceans in wooden boats. They sent themselves into space on controlled explosions. Dr. Korb interrupted her thoughts. There's a notation here from the psychological evaluation team. They interviewed several humans during the diplomatic processing. Belxian accessed the file. A human ambassador named Catherine Chen had been asked about Earth's predator species. Her response was recorded. Predators? Well, we have lions, bears, tigers, impressive creatures. But humans? We're endurance predators. We don't have to be the fastest or the strongest. We just have to be the most stubborn. Our ancestors would see prey and decide, I'm going to eat that. And then they'd follow it. Mile after mile, hour after hour, until it simply couldn't run anymore. We don't give up. That's our evolutionary advantage. We don't give up. Velxian closed the file, her mind racing. The Council had been preparing to welcome humanity as a junior species, a civilization of traders and scholars. They had seen humans' lack of natural weapons and assumed they would be grateful for the Council's protection. They had been catastrophically wrong. What do we do? Korb asked quietly. Velxian looked at the 9.8 score glowing on the display. Humanity hadn't developed in isolation. They'd fought their way to the top of Earth's food chain through sheer relentless determination. They were persistence predators on a cosmic scale, and the galaxy was about to learn what that meant. We tell the Council, Velxian said finally, and we recommend extreme caution. Humans don't hunt like other predators. They don't strike and retreat. Once they commit to something, they don't stop. Ever. She paused, watching footage of a human runner crossing a finish line after 26 miles, arms raised in triumph, barely able to stand but refusing to fall. They're not natural-born killers, Velxian continued softly. They're something far more terrifying. They're unnatural-born survivors who learned to kill, and they perfected it. The holographic display flickered, the 9.8 score pulsing like a warning beacon in the dimly lit laboratory. Humanity had arrived among the stars, and the hunt had just begun.